The show at this point, at least what you can tell us?
We're cautiously optimistic for season 4. There's no official word yet. It looks promising. As long as the show's profitable for the network, they should pick it up. They like the show, and they're doing everything they can to ensure that we can come back for season 4. But obviously, hopefully, we can come back next Monday and the subsequent weeks and get at least hold firm with our ratings. But I think there are overseas markets that are also in consideration. If it's a profitable show overseas, that plays into it, and it's expensive to launch a new show. So again, I'm optimistic, but there's no official word.
What do you get recognized for more when you're walking around in public? Do people come up to you and say John Casey, or do people come up to you and say Jane? What's the most... or do they say animal mother? You know, I mean, what's the most recognizable character? Yeah.
Well, when I walk around my neighborhood, it's like, you're Zoe's dad, right? Yeah, that's me. I guess Casey and Jane and Full Metal Jacket, and then guys, you know, our age, my bodyguard. But for the kids these days, you kids out there, it's pretty much you know, Casey and Jane. So that's it.
Well, listen, I know a lot of you guys have questions, and we want to try to get to as many questions as we can from the audience. So if you want to raise your hands, we'll try to get to as many different ones as we can. We'll start right here.
How painfully funny was it filming the Casey training board?
Oh, well, yeah. I'm very much enjoying the relationship that Casey is forming with Morgan. What's the last episode that aired? I don't want to give anything away. Where is he? Has he joined? Oh, okay, Chuck and Sarah in Paris, yeah. Well, yeah, things blossom from there. It's great. He's hilarious. Gomez is a great guy, and we get along a lot. So I'm always enjoying the scenes I get to do with him. He's a great improver, and he's always making me laugh. So it's hard for me to keep a straight face, believe it or not. Cut! Adam's laughing again.
Next up, who do we got? Right here.
What was it that made you want to be an actor in the first place?
Money. I don't know. I was kind of a, believe it or not, I was a bit of a screw up as a kid. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, and come from a broken home, and we ended up sort of having to find our own social networking, and the acting community was very embracing of, what do you want to call, well, because I'm talking about myself, I can call myself whatever I want, cast-offs from the normal socias and the popular crowd. So nerds and weirdos, I consider myself a total loser being I'm pointing at me, and the acting community was very embracing of you know, our flaws, and the teachers were great and allowed us to play and be goofballs and screw up, and so that's sort of how I started, 5th, 6th, 7th grade and beyond. And then I auditioned for my bodyguard and got the part, so I wasn't doing well in school, so that sort of gave me an excuse not to do any better. Here I am 30+ years later, so I got lucky.
How many times in a week do you have to tell people you are not part of the Baldwin family?
I get that question. I don't get you're Billy's brother or Alex's brother or Steve's brother, Anna's brother. So I don't see any downside to having my name spelled the same way. It's just another talking point, right?
Are there any upsides to having both things?
No.
Next up, right here.
How fun was it playing, voicing the role of Superman?
Yeah, I had a lot of good times there. It was short though; it was only a day's work. So I got to work with Anne Hesh, who's very talented, and So that was fun for me. But again, it was one day, and I'm sort of behind on the whole mythology of Superman. So I get a lot of questions about that, and I'm far less knowledgeable than those that are. So it's kind of hard for me to. I kept saying to the director, okay, how do you want me to play this guy? Is he straight? Is he character-y, or is he just sort of like a flat voice? And how do I differentiate him between, you know, Dark Superman and Clark? And they said, just play him the same way. It's like, okay. Dark Superman just kind of a little darker.
Right up here.
This is Texas. It's great to carry guns. I grew up, my dad was in the Naval Air Corps, and he was...
I think they're playing with your volume, so...
Stop it! My dad was in the Naval Air Corps, and so he had weapons in the house, and he kept us pretty well safe. And he trained us. And I went to a camp that we had riflery at the camp. So I've been comfortable with guns and rifles and weapons since I was a kid. Sorry? Citizens Police Academy. Yeah. Good.
So don't piss her off, is basically what I'm saying. Right up here in front.
Yeah. Stanley Kubrick was this enigma for us youngsters when I was 23, went over to London, and we didn't meet him for the first 2 weeks. We got materials. Here's the script. Here's the book. We got none of that ahead of time. You had to get the job and get over there before they would give you actually the script and the material that they were going to base it on. And so we're madly going, okay, who am I? Then we met him 2 weeks later to walk the site. The site's the old Beckton Gas Works on the east end of London. I don't even think it's there anymore. I think they leveled the place and put high-rise luxury condos there, so you can't even go there anymore. But if you see another movie, 1984, it's the rubbly flashbacks. It's the same place. But Kubrick, when he finally met us, he was soft-spoken gentleman from the Bronx. I thought it wasn't going to be this English gentleman, but he's not. He's guy from the Bronx. You know, he had this kind of nasally New York accent. And oh, okay, hi. And he was not a tall man, and he was a hairy man, and he had an army jacket, nothing like that, with a lot of pockets. And this was before those little devices, little handheld devices, which he would have loved, those gizmos. Cell phones. He had one of those big clunky gray, I forget what he called, bricks or whatever. Yeah, he carried that around. Wow, this is technology. Wow. And so he was very much into gadgets and gizmos. My favorite story about Kubrick is that this was during the, I guess it was the year the Royals won. It was '85, the year the Royals won the World Series, and he was a big baseball fan, and he would have his mother videotape the games. I guess the Yankees, or the Royals beat the Yankees in the playoffs that year, so. And he would say there's absolutely no talking about the game until I've seen it on videotape, and his mom would say